Javia, hi Javia, hi besties. Guys, as we come in, please let's go like and sub. The first person here is Javia. Hello, hello, Alana. Hi Leila. Hello, love girl. Hi, America. Hi, Sleepy. Hi, Lassie. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Tony's here. Clock it. Hello, Tony. Yeah, guys, drop your names. I snuck on my tablet. Bless you. Yeah, please let's go like and sub. Thank you. If you haven't like, yeah, let's go like. If you haven't sub, yeah, please let's go sub. So drop your names now on the comment section. Let's get it cracking. I like the first one. What first one did you like? I'm fine. I'm fine, Tony. Oh, bless you. Okay. Yeah, Tony. Tony, nice to meet you. Nice to have you here. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me here. I do appreciate. I think you are the first. I think you are the first person from my Facebook to be here. Honestly, I haven't invited anyone from my Facebook here, and I haven't invited anyone from here to my Facebook. Yeah, so I think you are the first here, and I'm glad we are here again together. So it is what it is. So I'm not ready yet to invite anyone to join any platform yet. Yeah, when that time comes, I will do it. So guys, let's drop our names now as we as we start. Or should we wait for others to join? As we begin, guys, come in, drop your name, and please let's go like. Thank you. Hi Onyx, my darling. Did you disappear, Onyx? I didn't see you again. You left. Yeah, guys, let's go. Drop your names on the comment section back to back. As you come in, you like and you put down your name. Thank you. Let's go. The first person here was Javia. A big shout out to Javia. A big shout out to Alana. A big shout out to Leila. A big shout out to Tony. A big shout out to Grains. A big shout out to Serenity. A big shout out to Abby. Yeah, a big shout. Me sleeping. Good night, bro. A big shout out to Alan. A big shout out to Onyx. Onyx. A big shout out to Lorena. Yeah, Tony, I'll still check my Facebook. Your biggest fan. Thank you so much. Tony, thank you. Yeah, Tony, I'll still check. It's like I saw your comment on the on my Facebook page, but I've not checked. So I'll go have a look later after the stream. I just got the notification on my phone, so I knew you were the one. Yeah, so I'll go have a look to see your profile. All right, guys, let's go. A big shout out to Evelyn. Yeah, thank you so much, Tony, for catching me here. A big shout out to Dear. A big shout out to Paulina. A big shout out to Evelyn. A big shout out to I'm fine, Rachel. A big shout out to Alexander. Yeah, we always engage. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. A big shout out to Anna, but I've left Facebook for some time. I do post every day, but I'm not that active. I just feel I shouldn't struggle. As in, people that love you, that love what you do, will always come and engage. So I just take a rest because it was just too hectic for me. I won't lie. Okay, a big shout out to Emily. You know, when you have to engage and engage back, it was very hectic. So I won't lie. I just need to take a rest from that. A big shout out to Jamia. A big shout out to Cynthia and Rosie. A big shout out to Owen Hill. A big shout out to Ruby, Tommy. A big shout out to Cass. A big shout out to Cameron. A big shout out to Maddie. A big shout out to Emma. A big shout out to Johnny. A big shout out to me. Yeah, a big shout out to Juliet. A big shout out to Raquel. A big shout out to Cameron. A big shout out to Nayeli. A big shout out to Ashley. A big shout out to Kindness. A big shout out to Emilia. Oh, guys, can we please take the like to 15? Okay, let's go. Let's take the like to 15, guys. It's like the like is stuck. Like, stop moving. And please don't forget to subscribe as well. Let's go. Drop your names. Oh, sorry, Kiki. I'm very busy, tired, so I try to be there. Oh, thank you so much, besties. Besties forever. Thank you. Onyx. A big shout out to Alison. A big shout out to Kayomi. A big shout out to Brainley. Shout out to Tony. A big shout out to Sophia. A big shout out to Emo Jessica. A big shout out to Sammy. A big shout out to Lee. A big shout out to Matt V. A big shout out to Easy. A big shout out to Johnny. A big shout out to Sophia Tuma. Shout out to Kelvin. A big shout out to Ira. A big shout out to Ira Rosso. A big shout out to Mabel. Guys, can we take the like up to 15? Let's go, 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 go. I have a bad day and now I'm having a great day because of you, Kiki. Yay! Yay! Clock it! That's good to know. Yeah, I'm happy for that. A big shout out to Sophie. A big shout out to Kuka. A big shout out to Evie. A big shout out to Alana. A big shout out to Kuka. A big shout out to Streets. A big shout out to Cines. Yeah, guys, let's go, go, go. Can we take the like up? It's like it's a struggle this evening. The like isn't going up like the... Please, let's take the like up, guys. Let's go. Yeah, drop your name. I give you a shout out. A big shout out to Ari. A big shout out to Jenna. A big shout out to Lily. A big shout out to Ailey. A big shout out to Rosso. Yeah, I love you too. Thank you. I love your energy. Oh, Rosso. What's your favorite TV show? do I have? A big shout out to Bianca. It's a TV show. It's long I watch TV. A big shout out to Sharon. A big shout out to Heaven. A big shout out to Caitlin. A big shout out to Clara. A big shout out to Johnny. A big shout out to Olivia. A big shout out to Lana. A big shout out to Chris. A big shout out to Adelie. A big shout out to Azar. A big shout out to Isabel. A big shout out to Grace. Yeah, guys, let's go. Please, let's take the like up to 20. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A big shout out to Caleb. A big shout out to Caleb. Let's go. A big shout out to Ciara. Oh, I want to say thank you for the 15 likes. Yeah, I do appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you. A big shout out to Kingsley. A big shout out to Vecna. A big shout out to Ima. A big shout out to Zoe. A big shout out to Blake. I'm fine, Nico. A big shout out to Nico. Thank you. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you for 20 likes. I do appreciate you. A big shout out to Isabella. A big shout out to Mai. A big shout out to Rowan. A big shout out to Kingsley. A big shout out to Maya. A big shout out to Haley. A big shout out to Lillian. Let's go. Clock it, girl. Crystal. A big shout out to Oscar. A big shout out to Nida. Let's go. A big shout out to Kingsley. A big shout out to Haley. A big shout out to Eva. A big shout out to Anna. A big shout out to Carlos. A big shout out to Cadence. A big shout out to Melida. A big shout out to Nida. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Lena. A big shout out to Christopher. A big shout out to Rian. Hello, Rian. Big shout out to Rian. Please go like and subscribe. Thank you. Thanks for the trophies. All for me. That's a lot. Thank you. Big shout out to Natasha. A big shout out to Refire. A big shout out to Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Nice to have you here. Please go like and sub. A big shout out to Christina. A big shout out to Gray. A big shout out to Char. A big shout out to Lizzie. A big shout out to Kiki. A big shout out to Candy. A big shout out to Tia. Thank you so much. You are the best. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Rachel. A big shout out to Darius. A big shout out to Mighty. Shout out to Brayley. Shout out to Amira. A big shout out to Cave. A big shout out to Very. A big shout out to Tilly. A big shout out to Kano. A big shout out to Josie. Guys, put your name on the comment section back to back. I give you a shout out. A big shout out to Hannah. A big shout out to Ariel. A big shout out to Elizabeth. A big shout out to Otali. A big shout out to Gray. A big shout out to Cave. A big shout out to Darius. A big shout out to Ivy. A big shout out to Mai. A big shout out to Zoe. A big shout out to Princess. A big shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Anissa. Shout out to Averi. Shout out to Romania. Oh, thank you for the 26 likes. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, please don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you so much. Drop your names on the comment section back to back. Yeah, I give you a shout out. Yeah, please, if you haven't subscribed and like, please let's go like and sub. Thank you. A big shout out to Zachariah. A big shout out to Aisha. A big shout out to Leela. A big shout out to Daylan. Big shout out to Ima. Big shout out to Story. Big shout out to Daylan. Big shout out to Azra. Big shout out to Eve. Big shout out to Zoe. Big shout out to Addy. Big shout out to Mia. Big shout out to Lucas. Big shout out to Cothin. Big shout out to Massey. Big shout out to Kimmy. A big shout out to Jasmine. Yeah, I need to do this to get baby names. Yeah, I jokingly said that on my live stream that I have lovely names here, pretty names. Yeah, when I have a baby again, I will come here to get lovely, pretty baby girl name or a baby boy. I don't know. So, yeah. A big shout out to Raf. A big shout out to Azzy. Eh? A big shout out to Frankie. A big shout out to Jasper. A big shout out to Oli. A big shout out to Addison. A big shout out to Violet. A big shout out to Milana. A big shout out to Spencer. A big shout out to Anissa. A big shout out to Breeze. Model. A big shout out to Christina. A big shout out to VC. A big shout out to Jessica. A big shout out to Milan. A big shout out to Carissa. A big shout out to Mahira. A big shout out to Heaven. A big shout out to Aurora. A big shout out to Hapa. A big shout out to Molly. A big shout out to Emilia, I beg you. A big shout out to Massey. Please, can we take the like up? Thank you so much. Let's like and sub. Let's go like and sub. Let's go like and sub. Let's go like and sub. Yeah, and please let's put our names on the comment section for a lovely shout out. A big shout out to Mia. A big shout out to Kathy. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Ollie. A big shout out to Isabella. A big shout out to Mangi. A big shout out to Essie. Oh. A big shout out to Everett. A big shout out to Kathy. You're welcome. Guys, let's take the like up to 40. Please let's take the like up to 40 and please let's subscribe. Yeah, thank you. A big shout out to Mila. A big shout out to Lee. A big shout out to Tracy and Amber. A big shout out to Shakira. Shakira. Oh, baby, when you talk like that, it make the woman get mad. Hey. Shakira. A big shout out to Allison. A big shout out to Danny. A big shout out to Greta. A big shout out to Brianna. A big shout out to Maddie. Besties for life. A big shout out to Mashi. A big shout out to Arim. A big shout out to Ara. A big shout out to Lemiho. Guys, can we take the like up to 40, please? A big shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Valentina. Shout out to Ariana. Yeah, I need to sit. I want to sit down. A big shout out to Adeline. A big shout out to Adriana. A big shout out to Andres. A big shout out to Valentina. A big shout out to Rosie. Hi, I love your video. Thank you, gorgeous. A big shout out to Brody. A big shout out to Ava. Let's go. A big shout out to Jackson. A big shout out to Layla. A big shout out to Clotide. Shout out to Alison. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Jackson. A big shout out to Savannah. A big shout out to Annas. A big shout out to Victor. Shout out to Battlement. Shout out to Kira. Shout out to Miho. Shout out to Annas. Shout out to Daisy and Kitty. Shout out to Ruben. I love it. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Rayleigh. Shout out to Ruben. A big shout out to Kinsley. Guys, let's take the like up to 40, please. Yeah, can we get to 40? Thank you. A big shout out to Aihunchin. Shout out to Shangbin. Shout out to Sunmi. Shout out to Jiun Jin. Shout out to Batumet. Shout out to Venus. Shout out to Allison. Oh, the like is 40. We have 40 likes. Yay. Please, let's go subscribe as well. Yeah, let's go subscribe as well. Thank you. Big shout out to Amelia. Big shout out to Danny. Yeah, let's go. Big shout out to Tasmi. Big shout out to Hallie. Big shout out to Tazlene. Big shout out to Franklin. Big shout out to Bella. Big shout out to Jeonjin. Big shout out to Stork. Yeah, a big shout out to Kiera. Big shout out to Andriana. Big shout out to Faith. A big shout out to Roseline. A big shout out to Mom. Big shout out to Elixir. Elixir. Sia. A big shout out to Anna. Big shout out to Aurora. Big shout out to Neva. Big shout out to Alana. Big shout out to Ellie. Big shout out to Aren. Guys, please, can we take the like up to 50? Wow, the like is 44 already. Thank you so much. I didn't see that coming. It's like a shock to me because it was like about 30 something when I checked. Thank you so much for the likes. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Big shout out to Caris. Big shout out to Helly. Big shout out to Bailey. Big shout out to Cook. Big shout out to Cassie. Big shout out to Harem. Yes, I got. Yeah, Penny. You're right, Penny. A big shout out to Charis. I think it's just two, Penny. A big shout out to Everett. A big shout out to Felix. A big shout out to Ima. A big shout out to Ellis Water. A big shout out to Ima. A big shout out to Savannah. Guys, let's take the like up to 50. Thank you. Please, let's take the like up to 50. And please don't forget to subscribe. I sub. Oh, Savannah, thank you for subbing. A big shout out to Jacob, your lovely brother. A big shout out to Hennis. A big shout out to Leo. A big shout out to Annie Lee Lip. A big shout out to Penelope. A big shout out to Nicole. Sia. A big shout out to Ahmed. A big shout out to Ellis. Oh, thank you so much for 50 likes. Clock it. Thank you so much. Guys, let's go. Don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe. You're so kind and I love your life. Thank you so much. Thank you. A big shout out to Bot. A big shout out to Liam. A big shout out to Asania. I just subscribed. Really, Rifa? Thank you so much. Let's go. Thank you for 50 likes. A big shout out to Mia. A big shout out to Madison. A big shout out to Victor, Veronica. A big shout out to Ariella. A big shout out to Mia. Let's go. A big shout out to Rita. A big shout out to Valerie. A big shout out to Kaya. A big shout out to Mackenzie. A big shout out to Elia. Welcome back, dear. Welcome back. I'm new in the chat. Maria, nice to have you here. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Please go like and subscribe. It's a lovely channel, trust me. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that is what I'll say, but you confirm it yourself as time goes on. A big shout out to Melody. A big shout out to Christy. A big shout out to Uno. A big shout out to Erica. Big shout out to Mahira. Big shout out to Coriel. Big shout out to Josie. Big shout out to Paisley. Big shout out to Liam. Big shout out to your best friend Ava. Big shout out to Ellie. A big shout out to Mackenzie. Big shout out to Madeline. Big shout out to Jamie. Big shout out to Ombre. Big shout out to Sunny. I just like and so. Thank you so much, Eden. Big shout out to Hayden. Big shout out to Lanning. Big shout out to Belen. Yeah, I read charts. Big shout out to Kaylee. Sometimes I read charts sometimes when I have the time. A big shout out to Maria. A big shout out to Maddie. Guys, let's take the like up to 60. Thank you. And please don't forget to subscribe. Can we take the like up to 60? I love you all. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Kaylee. A big shout out to Alan. Yeah, a big shout out to Jamie. A big shout out to Elizabeth. I wanted to say Isabella. A big shout out to Susan. A big shout out to Elizabeth. I have been here. Bless you. A big shout out to Mia. A big shout out to Isaiah. Shout out to Ariana. Thanks for the trophy. A big shout out to Daisy Isabella. A big shout out to Sailor. Guys, let's take the like up to 60, please. Can we take the like up to 60? And please, let's subscribe. A big shout out to Malania. You're gorgeous. Thank you, Afana. A big shout out to Genesis. A big shout out to John. A big shout out to Avina. A big shout out to Easy. A big shout out to Rainy. A big shout out to Save. A big shout out to Adeline, Angela, and Dental. A big shout out to Alessia. A big shout out to Tristan. A big shout out to London. A big shout out to Queens. A big shout out to Enhipen. Shout out to Peepa. Shout out to Savannah. Oh, thank you for 60 likes. Oh, thank you so much. Yay! Thank you so much for the 60 likes. Yeah, let's please subscribe as well. You're gorgeous. You're so pretty. You're stunning. Thank you so much, Cassie. All for me. You're gorgeous as well. A big shout out to Ashley. A big shout out to Colleen. A big shout out to Ali. A big shout out to Kassin. Let's go. A big shout out to Betsy. A big shout out to Zainab. A big shout out to Sabrina. A big shout out to Esme and Kara. A big shout out to Noah. A big shout out to Play Sloppy Joe. Cupcake. A big shout out to Helen. A big shout out to Kasim. A big shout out to Cassia. A big shout out to Stavi. A big shout out to Sebastian. A big shout out to John. A big shout out to Zosia. A big shout out to Angelina. A big shout out to Biga. A big shout out to Nihal. A big shout out to Rada. A big shout out to Irene. A big shout out to Belinda. Guys, please let's take the like up to 70. Yeah, and please let's go subscribe. Let's go, 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 go. Please drop your names on the comment section. Let's go, 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 back to back. Drop your names on the comment section. Let's go, go, go. I give you a shout out. Don't forget to like and sub. Yeah, a big shout out to Olive. A big shout out to Leela. A big shout out to Lily. Yeah. We have 70 likes. Clock it. Clock it. Guys, let's go like and sub. Thank you. You are cute. I like your hair the most. Thank you so much. A big shout out to John. A big shout out to Ella. A big shout out to Lucy. A big shout out to Cadence. A big shout out to Edith. A big shout out to Vingan. A big shout out to Ban. A big shout out to Ima. A big shout out to Maria. A big shout out to Edith. Thank you for 70 likes. Let's go, 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 go. Drop your name on the comment section. I give you a shout out. Let's go. And don't forget to subscribe. Ooh. A big shout out to Victoria. Let's go back to back. Drop your names. A big shout out to Tilda. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Rayleigh. A big shout out to Danny. A big shout out to Game. A big shout out to Sophie. A big shout out to Julia. A big shout out to Jaxie. Let's go, 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 go. Drop your name on the comment section. I give you a shout out. Let's go back to back. A big shout out to Ava. A big shout out to Ombre. A big shout out to Avin. A big shout out to Nelly. A big shout out to Nikki. A big shout out to Edith. A big shout out to Carlos. A big shout out to Howard. A big shout out to Ima. A big shout out to Alexi. A big shout out to Squidward Nose by Cupcake. A big shout out to Manon. Guys, let's take the like up. It's almost 80 likes. Yay! Let's go. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Sophia Lopez. Don't forget to subscribe as well. You are so sweet. Thank you, Edith. A big shout out to Pelin's sister. A big shout out to Rose. A big shout out to Nelly. A big shout out to Bright. A big shout out to Kelly's. Shout out to Kenzie. Shout out to Cool. A big shout out to Alice. A big shout out to Ollie. A big shout out to Gracie. Shout out to Kenley's. Shout out to Rose. A big shout out to Cool. A big shout out to Bill. A big shout out to Addison. A big shout out to Rose. A big shout out to Kelly. Thank you for 80 likes, guys. Clock it. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Ellis. A big shout out to Aubrey. A big shout out to Lena. A big shout out to Cool. A big shout out to Hugo. A big shout out to Ketseye. A big shout out to Bill. A big shout out to Aliyah. Shout out to Lily. Guys, put your name on the comment section back to back. Let's go, let's go, 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 back to back. Your name on the comment section. Let's go, 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 go. A big shout out to Darcy. A big shout out to Aliyah. A big shout out to Alexa. A big shout out to Uros. A big shout out to Amia. A big shout out to Mia. Shout out to Thank you, nice lady. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Lily. A big shout out to Bo. A big shout out to Timmy. Took Knuckles. A big shout out to Dilly. A big shout out to Lily. Lovely names. All your names are gorgeous. A big shout out to Gabriella. Lovely. A big shout out to Amelia. A big shout out to Rikayla. Rikayla. Lovely names. A big shout out to Princess Katen. A big shout out to Sammy. A big shout out to Stella. A big shout out to all Ward. Let's go. A big shout out to My Honk. A big shout out to Anna Julia. Oh, thank you for 90 likes. Let's go. We have 90 likes. Thank you. A big shout out to Ban. A big shout out to April. A big shout out to Ali. A big shout out to Taimaya. Thank you for 90 likes. Oh, thank you so much. Please, let's subscribe as well, guys. Let's go, let's go. Please, if you like, you sub, just put your name on the comment section. Back to back. I will call you many times. A big shout out to Megan. A big shout out to Makena. A big shout out to Levy. A big shout out to Aliza. A big shout out to Trizzy. A big shout out to Eowyn. A big shout out to Lizzie. Yeah, a big shout out to Isabella. Guys, let's go. A big shout out to Umera. I beg your pardon. A big shout out to Megan. A big shout out to Ron. A big shout out to Mano. A big shout out to Ivy. A big shout out to Savi. A big shout out to Fossey. A big shout out to Melanie. A big shout out to Ace. A big shout out to Julia. A big shout out to Alwyn. A big shout out to Charlotte. A big shout out to Savannah. Let's go. A big shout out to Anna Julia. A big shout out to Noella. A big shout out to Sarah. A big shout out to audience. You're welcome. A big shout out to Nick. A big shout out to Kaylee. A big shout out to Rika. A big shout out to Melody. Guys, we are almost in 100. Please, 100 likes. Wow, we've gotten to 100. I will shake my head. 100 likes. Let's go. Don't play. Thank you. 100 likes. Please, let's go subscribe as well. Yeah, guys, please, let's go subscribe as well. Back to back, and put down your name on the comment section. Let's go. Super excited. A big shout out to Imogen. Please, your name now. Back to back. Let's go. A big shout out to Novali. A big shout out to Tekken. Shout out to Paris. Shout out to Melanin. A big shout out to Trinity. A big shout out to Ariana. A big shout out to Skrika. A big shout out to Noah. Let's go. Back to back. A big shout out to April. If the likes get to 110, I'll shake my hair. Yeah, I'll shake my hair like that. A big shout out to Jasmine. A big shout out to Imogen. A big shout out to Melanie. A big shout out to Anna Julia. A big shout out to Jasmine. A big shout out to Paige. A big shout out to Bella. A big shout out to Evidence. A big shout out to Rian. A big shout out to Bella. A big shout out to Blake. A big shout out to Abigail Finger. A big shout out to Julia. Julia says she subscribed. Guys, let's welcome her in. You're welcome. Nice to have you here. Please Yeah, feel free to to comment on my videos and also to invite your friends. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Aliana, a big shout out to Romy, a big shout out to Whitlain, a big shout out to League, a big shout out to Ellis, a big shout out to Aliana, a big shout out to Cash, shout out to Alisa. Guys, let's go, let's go. Shout out to Sammy, a big shout out to Alisa, shout out to Ligian, shout out to Zahara, shout out to King. Oh, it is 110. Yeah. Thank you so much. I said I'll shake my head when it's 110. Yeah, we got that. Yeah, thank you. Please don't, please let's go subscribe as well. Please let's go subscribe. Let's go back to back. Drop your name on the comment section. When the like gets to 120, I will shake my hair. Okay, big shout out to Alana. A big shout out to Tej. A big shout out to Kena. A big shout out to Linz. A big shout out to Queen. Please let's go subscribe as well. And I want to say thank you for everyone that has subscribed. Thank you so much. I love you all. Yeah, thank you. A big shout out to Poppy. A big shout out to Irina. A big shout out to Elisink. Pride. A big shout out to Alana. What did they watch? What did the title? A big shout out to Andy. Again.
This season 2.
We just come out. You not let me watch her. A big shout out to Nick. A big shout out to Reggie. A big shout out to Kingsley. Let's go. When it gets to 120 likes, I will shake my hair. A big shout out to Lee. A big shout out to Candy. A big shout out to Kiara. A big shout out to Kimberly. A big shout out to Mary Hain. A big shout out to Nicholas. A big shout out to N Song. A big shout out to Camilla. Guys, drop your names. Let's go back to back, back to back, back to back. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? I love you all. A big shout out to Candy. A big shout out to Kendra. Shout out to Jisoo. Shout out to Regina. A big shout out to Petra. A big shout out to Addison. A big shout out to Amy. A big shout out to Grayson. A big shout out to Amu. Shout out to Thin. Shout out to Lee. Shout out to Rose. Hi, darling. A big shout out to Matthew. Matthew. A big shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Rose. Shout out to Hadi. Shout out to Melissa. A big shout out to Henry. A big shout out to Lee. A big shout out to Lisa. A big shout out to Henry. A big shout out to Lily. Big shout out to People Pig. Shout out to Steven. A big shout out to Adi. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Janie. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Ima. Shout out to Jenny. A big shout out to Lee. A big shout out to Rion. Let's go. Guys, let's go like and sub. Oh, it's 120 likes. I need to shake my hair. I'm gone. 120 likes, guys. Yeah. Oh, it's 120 likes. Yeah. Let's go. I hope my eyes will not turn me here and I won't fall down. Let's go. Please, let's don't forget to subscribe as well. A big shout out to Angela. A big shout out to Lee. Shout out to Millie. A big shout out to Lisa. A big shout out to Kim, Jenny. A big shout out to Henry. A big shout out to Jaden. I'm a big fan, thank you. A big shout out to Edgar. A big shout out to Lee. A big shout out to Jay. A big shout out to Lisa. A big shout out to Aliana. A big shout out to Reina. A big shout out to Sabrina. A big shout out to Lisa. A big shout out to Steak. I'm your thank you so much. A big shout out to Sabrina. Shout out to Destiny. Guys, when the likes gets to 130, I will shake my hair like that. A big shout out to Addy. A big shout out to Taylor. A big shout out to Danny. A big shout out to Claristan. A big shout out to Avan. A big shout out to Glendy. A big shout out to Gabi. A big shout out to Arabella. A big shout out to Leave. A big shout out to Lara. A big shout out to Ashali. A big shout out to EGG Egg. A big shout out to Smith. When the light get to 130, I will shake my hair. Let's go. Don't forget to subscribe as well. A big shout out to Una. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Silly. Big shout out to Emmett. A big shout out to Galina. A big shout out to Lisa. A big shout out to Sophia. A big shout out to Galina. A big shout out to Cambria. Shout out to Audrey. Ebola. Shout out to Gabby. A big shout out to Galina. A big shout out to Summer. Shout out to Shane. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Shiloh. Shout out to Lily. A big shout out to Dina. Shout out to Bethlehem. Hi, Bethlehem. Hope you're good. Shout out to Scottin. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Sham. Shout out to Verity. Verity. Shout out to JJ. Shout out to Shamomel. Shout out to Harrison. Shout out to Soul. Shout out to Leave. A big shout out to Scodin. A big shout out to Soul. Oh, it is 130 likes. Clock it. I need to fling my hair. Fling it. Shake it. Shake, shake, shake. 130 likes. Let's go. Please subscribe as well. I hope I won't fall from here. Oh, let's go. Thank you so much for 130 likes. Please let's go subscribe as well. A big shout out to Freddie. A big shout out to Honey. A big shout out to Suki. A big shout out to Sonia. A big shout out to Evan. A big shout out to Sarah. A big shout out to Jacob. A big shout out to Phoenix. A big shout out to Onison. A big shout out to Evian. A big shout out to Jacob. A big shout out to Brooke. When the light get to 140, I'll fling my hair. I'll shake my hair. When the light get to 140, let's go. Let's take the light up to 140. A big shout out to Ava. A big shout out to Imahamo. A big shout out to Paka. A big shout out to Ihunchin. A big shout out to Jacob. A big shout out to Adelaide. A big shout out to Mai. A big shout out to Noah. A big shout out to Adelaide. A big shout out to Brigade. A big shout out to Yunche. A big shout out to Anslane. A big shout out to Eden. A big shout out to Jacob. Let's take the like up to 140. I'm going to shake my hair. A big shout out to Jaden. A big shout out to Annabella. A big shout out to Talut. Shout out to Massin. Shout out to Makin. A big shout out to Jacob. A big shout out to Jamali. A big shout out to Ram. A big shout out to Ava. A big shout out to Makena. A big shout out to Felix. A big shout out to Jamali. Guys, let's go. When it's 140 likes, I'm going to fling my hair. Shake my hair. A big shout out to Zulu. Shout out to Kaylin. Shout out to Mine. Shout out to Haza. Shout out to Kiana. Shout out to Eyes No. A big shout out to Abigail. A big shout out to Wakanda. A big shout out to Feel My. A big shout out to Rubio. Shout out to Massey. Shout out to Kiana and Kaylee. A big shout out to Rubio. A big shout out to Ima. Shout out to Jeffrey. A big shout out to Ramen. A big shout out to David. Shout out to Sonny. Shout out to Massey. Shout out to Luciana. Shout out to Alicia. Shout out to Kayla. A big shout out to Massey. A big shout out to Avery. A big shout out to Chanley. A big shout out to Bella. A big shout out to Lexi. Let's go. A big shout out to Isabella. A big shout out to Skodin. Guys, let's take the like up to 140. Let's go. Let me shake my hair. One more like. Shout out to Patience. Yeah, let's take the like up and let's subscribe. Thank you. Oh, it is 140, guys. It's time to shake my hair. Yay! Clock it. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. 140 likes. Thank you for liking and for subscribing. Hope my eyes will not turn me. Hope I won't fall from here now. A big shout out to Acha. Big shout out to Bella. Shout out to Patience. Shout out to Sailor. Shout out to Skylar. Shout out to Samuel. Shout out to Evelyn. Shout out to Sabrina. Shout out to Kathy. Shout out to Sophia. You are a baddie. Thank you, gorgeous. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to Lewis. Let's take the like up to 150. I'll shake my hair for you. But pray for me not to fall from here. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just kidding. Yeah, let's take the like to 150. I'll shake my hair. And please, let's subscribe as well. A big shout out to Carolina. We are left with 5 likes. Let's go. A big shout out to Easy. A big shout out to Carolina. A big shout out to Shariha. A big shout out to Joel. Shout out to Ivy. Shout out to Desta Morgan. Shout out to Kingsley. Shout out to Erin. Shout out to Queenie. Shout out to Lucy. Let's take the like up to 150. I'm going to shake my hair. Let's go. And don't forget to subscribe. A big shout out to Ken Leave. A big shout out to Mina. A big shout out to Timmy. A big shout out to Ivy Ward. A big shout out to Allison. When it's 150, I'm going to shake my hair. 150 likes. A big shout out to Timmy. A big shout out to Orange. A big shout out to Lauren. A big shout out to Rosaline. A big shout out to Jimmy. A big shout out to Trenton. A big shout out to Latoya. A big shout out to Mommy. A big shout out to Corbin. A big shout out to Rio. One more like. A big shout out to Ambarina. Shout out to Liana. Shout out to John. Shout out to Gentai. Shout out to John. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Abby. Oh, it is 150 likes. Yay! Thank you. Thanks for the like. Thank you for subscribing. Ooh, this is fun. Let's go. Ooh. Let's go, guys. Big shout out to Leela. A big shout out to Lauren. Bestie, welcome back. A big shout out to family. A big shout out to Ivy Bell. A big shout out to Gentai. A big shout out to Victoria. A big shout out to Ivy Bell Ward. A big shout out to Jamila. A big shout out to Ivy. A big shout out to Laura. Please let's take the like to 160. When it gets to 160, I'm gonna shake my hair. A big shout out to Valerie. A big shout out to Indie Ward. A big shout out to Riha. A big shout out to Laura. A big shout out to Star. A big shout out to Julia. A big shout out to Sophia. A big shout out to Jessica. Yeah, guys, let's go like and subscribe. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Anaya. You look pretty. Thank you so much, Janix. Shout out to Kauya. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Fihana. Shout out to Julia. A big shout out to Alice. Guys, let's go. You will hear my voice. You might not see my face. Okay. You can hear my voice, but you might not see my face. Just put your name on the comment section back to back. Let's go. Let's go, 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 go. Drop your name. A big shout out to Fraul. A big shout out to Cameron. A big shout out to Shaya. A big shout out to Alice. A big shout out to Mai. Let's go. Let's go, 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 go. A big shout out to Belle. A big shout out to Kobe. Please drop your names on the comment section. Let's go. A big shout out to Alice. A big shout out to Grace. Let's go. A big shout out to Amira. Let's go. A big shout out to Adala. A big shout out to Zoe. When we get to 160 like, I will shake my head. I will turn on the camera. 160 like, let's go. A big shout out to Amelia. Let's go, guys. Big shout out to Zainab. A big shout out to Whitney. They can't sleep. Pride. Let's go, guys. Please drop your names on the comment section. Let's go, 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 go. A big shout out to Josie. A big shout out to Bethany. Oh, you're in bed. Yeah, just drop your names, okay? A big shout out to Anna. A big shout out to Shin Queen. Shout out to Itzy. Shout out to Guyana. Shout out to Aubrey. Can we take the like up to 160 and please let's subscribe. I will turn on the camera when it gets to 160. A big shout out to Kaylee. A big shout out to George. Yeah, guys, let's go like and sub. Let's go. Let's go, 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 go. Let's go like and sub. Yeah, big shout out to Sophia. Big shout out to Lani. Big shout out to Alex. Big shout out to Aisha. Okay, Isha. Let's go. Big shout out to Avian. Big shout out to Logs. Yeah, guys, let's go. Let's go like and sub. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's like and sub and put your name on the comment section back to back. I give you a shout out. Yeah, put your name, guys. A big shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Soma. A big shout out to Aileen. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's go. Let's go, 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 go. A big shout out to my. A big shout out to Indy. Shout out to JC. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Lala. Shout out to George. Shout out to Sheila. A big shout out to Lena. A big shout out to Summer. Shout out to Lucky. Guys, let's go like and sub. Let's go like and sub. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, let's go like and subscribe. A big shout out to Anis. Oh, it is 160 likes. Oh, thank you, guys. What did I promise? Who can remember? Let's go. Drop your names on the comment section. A big shout out to Mika. A big shout out to Abby. A big shout out to Kenzie and Olivia. Guys, let's go. Drop your names on the comment section. Back to back, back to back. I give you a shout out. A big shout out to Annalise. Big shout out to Goodness. Wow, beautiful names. Big shout out to Kelly. Big shout out to Ella. Big shout out to Same. Big shout out to Linka. A big shout out to Lucy. A big shout out to Vivienne. Let's go. Put your name on the comment section. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Yes, I said your name. Okay. Big shout out to Mapu. Big shout out to Jake. Big shout out to Amara. Big shout out to Mike. Big shout out to Noah. Big shout out to Isabella. Big shout out to Riva. Big shout out to Maple. Thank you so much. Thank you. Big shout out to Kingsley. Thank you for stopping. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Put your name on the comment section. I give you a shout out. A shout out to Shania. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Isabel. Shout out to Paris. Shout out to Indy. Shout out to Soma, Ella, Kiki, Lola, Jake, Liam. Shout out to Isabel. Shout out to Paris. Shout out to Indy. Shout out to Nila. Let's go. Shout out to Isabel. Shout out to Garden. Shout out to Bella. Guys, let's go like and sub. It's like the like is not moving again. Yeah, the like is not moving. Can we go like and subscribe? Yeah, the like is not moving. Yeah, please let's go like, please. Yeah, let's like and subscribe. Let's go, let's go. Just 2% have like. Please, let's go like and subscribe. Can we take the like up, please? So that we can continue with the shout outs. If the like is not up, I'm afraid I have to end the live. A big shout out to Free, yeah? Guys, let's take the like up so I can continue. And let's go subscribe. English. Shivai. Nila. Big shout out to Brady. Thank you, Brady, for the like and for subscribing. Shout out to Nila. Big shout out to Shiva. Shout out to Bolo. Big shout out to Kiss Hona. Big shout out to Ali Rose. Can we please take the like up? Thank you so much. Love you too. Can we please take the like up? Let's go, let's go. And let's subscribe. Thank you. I can see the hearts. Thank you. Let's take the like up, guys. Let's go. And let's subscribe. Let's like and subscribe. Guys, like and sub. Thank you. Thank you. It's dark here already. The like is not even moving. Guys, what's going on? Shout out to Nila. Thank you. Big shout out to Govink. Big shout out to Fonda Kazi. Guys, let's go like and subscribe. Shout out to Madison Carter. Guys, let's go like and sub. Big shout out to Anna Sophia. Shout out to Shive. Guys, I'll be back, guys. I will be back. Cha, cha, cha.